Welcome everyone. So now we are going to talk about how to create IntelliJ Java projects in Windows operating system. So Windows users, please open your IntelliJ in your Windows operating system. Make sure that you already have pinned this IntelliJ application in the taskbar so that you could just do single click. With one click, you are able to open this IntelliJ. And when you first open IntelliJ, it takes you to the welcome window. Okay, if you already have set the beta version of the UI, the welcome window looks like this. And then from the welcome window, you need to click this new project button. And once you click the new project button, it takes you to the new project window. A new window popped up. And in this new window, you need to set the name, location, language, built-in system, and JDK of the project. So for the name of the project, we can name it Java Programming. Make sure you use the underscore instead of the space. All the folder names, file names, starting from now on, you cannot include any space in them. Okay. Instead, we should be using the underscore. And as for the location, we are still going to keep it as the default location, default directory, the IDEA projects. When you first install this IntelliJ IDE in your Windows operating system, under the users directory, there is a folder named IDEA projects has been created. Okay, so this is the default directory for all the IntelliJ projects, where all the IntelliJ projects will be saved at. So we are not going to touch it. And we don't need to create a Git repository for now, so make sure that this checkbox is unchecked. And then next, you need to select the language. The language we need to select it, we need to set it to Java. So make sure that the first one is selected by default. And as for the built-in system, we still select the IntelliJ. Okay. And next is the JDK dropdown. We need to set the JDK. By the way, what does JDK stand for? And which version of the JDK are we using for this course? So JDK stands for Java Development Kit, right? As we stated in our previous module. And the current version of the JDK that we are using, currently we are using the JDK version 17 for this course. So make sure you already have watched the previous module videos to install the JDK and make sure that the version 17 is installed. And for some reason, if you installed the wrong version or if you forgot to install the JDK, no worries, you could still install it through the IntelliJ. IntelliJ, it gives you the option to download and install the JDK. So once you click the drop-down box of the JDK, you have the option download JDK. Okay. You could download the specific version of JDK, for example, 17 here. I selected it, and then I can click this download to download it afterwards. And once you finish download it, then you will have the option JDK 17. You do have the option for the JDK. Okay, so you select the JDK version afterwards. You need to click this create button. We don't need to add any sample code, and we also don't need to make any change to those advanced settings. And just click this create button next. Okay, so this is our first project that we created in IntelliJ. And if your IntelliJ window looks different than mine, the UI looks different than mine, that's probably because you haven't set the new UI yet. Okay. So first let me maximize this IntelliJ window. So if you haven't set the new UI yet, you need to go to the settings. From here, from the file, you go to settings. Once you go to the settings window, under this appearance and behaviors, you do have this new UI. You need to check this enable new UI and then click apply and OK button afterwards. Then your UI would look like this. If it's a different theme color, for now it's okay, but make sure that the UI, the user interface, looks like this in your IntelliJ window. And here, this is on the left side, we do have project window. Under project window, make sure that you do have this Java programming is displayed. And under this Java programming, make sure that you have this source folder. And you may have more than one folder under this Java programming. You may have idea and out those folders. So those are known as the excluded folders. The reason I'm not seeing those folders is because I unselected this show excluded files option. If I selected it, then I would have this idea folder, and later on I would also have the out folder. The out folder, it's a folder for storing the class files, which contains the bytecodes. But those out and idea, those folders, I do not use them. Okay. So what I need to do is to make sure that next time I do not see them, I will click this options here. And then from the tree appearance, I will unselect this show excluded files. Okay. So that next time I'm not going to see idea and out those folders later on. And make sure you also delete this gitignore file. We don't need this file for now. So I can right click this file and delete it. Okay. And in the projects window, besides this Java programming, you should also have this option called external libraries. And if you expand this external libraries, the version should be 17. The JDK's version should be 17. Okay. So this is how we create the Java project. And if you want to close the current Java project that you have, you go here, go to File, and then you will select this Close Project option. Okay. Once you close the project, it takes you back to the welcome window. This time the welcome window looks different than the previous one, right? Previously our welcome window was empty. It gave us options like new project, open, version control, those options. But now we do have this Java programming in the recent window. Okay. So next time when you open the IntelliJ, you could just click this from the recent projects window to open this project. And what if I want to delete this project? What if I no longer needed this project in my operating system? So to delete the project, to delete an IntelliJ project that you created in the Windows operating system, you need to go to the root directory of this project folder. Okay. So from the Finder, from the File Explorer, you need to locate the root directory of this Java programming. This Java programming is created under this IDEA projects. IDEA projects is the root directory of this project Java programming. The easiest way to get there would be when you click this options here, it gives you the option to show in Explorer. Okay, if you click this show in Explorer, it opens the File Explorer and it navigates the IDEA projects. And now under the IDEA projects, I have a folder Java programming. So this is basically my Java project that I created in IntelliJ. All the IntelliJ project that you created will be saved under this directory by default. So to delete this project, I need to right click this folder here under this IDEA projects. I need to right click this Java programming and then select this delete. Okay. Once it's deleted, you see, now in IntelliJ window, this Java programming is in the gray color. If I try to open it, it will not let me because this project is no longer exist in our operating system. That's why you cannot open it. So the only option that we have right now is remove it from the recent projects list. Okay. So please recreate this Java programming project. In our next modules, we will be using the same exact project. We will be using the same exact project to write our Java codes. Thank you so much, everyone. See you all in the next video.